Hello everyone, it's Rita. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. I just want to say a special thank you to all of you that subscribed and that watch my videos because I reached 100 subscribers over the weekend and that's amazing. I know that's not a lot in comparison to a lot of the channels out there, but it's a lot for me and I'm very grateful. I hope we can continue to grow and just have lots of fun together. Today I wanted to do this very simple tutorial of my go-to flawless skin look. The products I use in this video aren't necessarily my go-to products because I did use some new products in this video. And when I say new, I mean new to me. But the overall look, the overall techniques, and the finish of some of the products are my go-to and is what I enjoy to put on my face. As always, please share, like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Alrighty guys, let's get started. First step is moisturizing your skin. I am going to use the Shiseido Beneficence Wrinkle Resist 24-Day Cream. But of course, any moisturizer will do because this is a pricey item. But I really have been loving Shiseido skin products and definitely recommend it if you are looking for a high-end moisturizer to invest in. But like I said, any moisturizer will do, and it is an important step of your makeup, regardless of your skin type. Because makeup will only look as good as what is underneath. So take care of your skin, keep it clean, moisturize, drink water, exercise. The better your skin is, the better your makeup will look. For primer, I'm using the NYX Honey Dew Me Up Primer. This is a new product for me and I really enjoyed it because it gives you a dewy, sticky base to apply your foundation over top. If you tend to have oilier skin, I recommend you pick a more mattifying primer because this kind of primer on you may make you too oily at the end of the look. I have combination skin, which means I have both oily and dry areas on my skin, so I have to be careful of application of certain products as well. However, I rather look a little oilier and dewy than look dry and cakey, so find the right balance of products that applies to your skin and to your preference. For foundation, I'll be mixing the Loreal Infallible Pro Glow Foundation in shade 201 Classic Ivory and the NYX Cosmetics CC Cream in shade Medium. I love both of these foundations equally because they have a dewy finish on the skin. I'm mixing them together to be a better shade match for me, but using just one will work. If you're on a budget, the L'Oreal foundation is cheaper and a great option. Again, if you have oilier skin, consider using a matte foundation instead. The L'Oreal Infallible line has a matte version of the foundation that will work great. I mixed both foundations on the back of my hand, applied it to my face, and blended it out with my Real Techniques sponge. I also applied a second layer of foundation to the areas I wanted a little more coverage because these foundations are very buildable without making you look cakey. For concealer, I used the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer in shade Chantilly and applied it under my eyes, bridge of nose, chin, cupid's bow, and around my lips. Basically, anywhere I wanted to add extra coverage to conceal imperfections and anywhere I wanted to highlight. When choosing concealer, you can choose a shade 1 to 2 shades lighter than your foundation for highlighting and brightening as well as concealing. However, if you're using a concealer just to spot conceal random imperfections on your face, you may want to pick a shade closer to your foundation. Because if you pick a shade too light, you may actually end up highlighting and bringing attention to the areas you're trying to hide. Next, I went into the NYX Highlight and Contour Pro palette. I picked up the first 2 matte light shades in the palette and used it to set any areas on my face that I applied the concealer. You will see me use my fingers to tap out my concealer under my eyes and on my eyelids. I do this because when you leave your wet concealer on and don't set it with powder right away, it starts to crease. So I tap it gently with my fingers, being careful not to remove the product before putting powder over it. To set the areas you concealed, you want to use either a light shade like the 2 I use from the NYX palette or a translucent powder which has no color so that you keep those areas bright and highlighted. You basically don't want to add a color that's too dark because it will undo the highlighting that you already did. To set the perimeter of my face, I use the Sephora Matte Perfection Powder Foundation in shade 14 Neutral Linen. I like setting the perimeter of my face with either a translucent powder or a powder with a shade similar to my foundation like the Sephora powder. You don't want to use a bright shade because we are going to start bronzing and contouring the perimeter of the face soon, so it doesn't make sense to go in with a bright powder on those areas. I'm being very light-handed with my powder on this look today because I want to look dewy. However, if you have oilier skin, you can afford to go in a little more heavy-handed because you need a good base of powder to keep your natural oils from melting this look. Powdering your face is important regardless of your skin type because it helps your makeup last all day and keeps your foundation and concealer from transferring and sliding all around your face. To bronze the perimeter of the face, I went back into that same NYX palette and used the first two warmer tone browns. And then with the two cooler, deeper tone browns from the NYX palette, I contoured my face, focusing on the hollows of my cheeks, sides of the nose, and some areas of the forehead. You can go in with a smaller brush and really do an in-depth nose contour, but I really just do a light wash of color on the sides of my nose and call it a day. You're going to see that I keep going back and forth into that Sephora powder to blend out the contour because I kept going in a little too heavy-handed and it was looking a bit too intense. So know you can always go back into a lighter powder to try and tone down your contour. For blush, I used the Tarte Cosmetics Blush in the shade Feisty. It is this beautiful peachy blush. You want to apply and blend your blush on the apples of your cheeks, blending it towards your ear and cheekbone. You also want to blend it in with the bronzer and contour for a more natural look. If you only apply your blush to the apples of your cheeks, you could end up looking a bit clownish or dollish, which I don't know about you guys, but is not the look that I'm going for. For my eyes, I wanted to keep it super natural and simple, so I just went back into that NYX palette and picked up the two middle brown shades with a fluffy brush and blended them into my crease and lower lash line to add dimension to my eyes. And then with that lighter yellow shade from the NYX palette, I added to my lids just to brighten them up a little bit more, and that's it for the eyes, guys. For brows, I used the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in shade Espresso. I like to keep my brows as natural as possible, and I'm lucky because I do have a lot of hair, so I don't do much for them other than fill them in. I just brush my hairs up, fill them in, then brush them hair down, fill them in, and then brush through in between with the spoolie to blend it out. The toughest part for me when I'm doing my brows is making them look the same at the front. One of my brows is rounded and the other one is square because my hairs grow up, spiked up. So making them match can be tough for me. But brows are so individual that you just have to figure out what works for you. If you have a lot of brow hairs like I do, I definitely recommend you get a clear brow gel like this one, the Chella Eyebrow Defining Gel, just to set them in place and make sure that they're not gonna keep moving around, which mine tends to do. And that's the last step for my eyebrows. For lashes, I love this Christina number 43 lashes, and I always apply it with the Star Lash Glue. I've talked about both of these products in my channel before. I get both of them on Amazon. They're both super cheap. It's my ride or die lash and glue. My greatest tip for you if you're new at applying lashes is to first always measure your lash to your eye, because most of the time they're too big for your eye and it looks weird if you try to apply it that way. So measure it out, you're gonna cut it, but you're gonna cut at the long end, at the outer corner. Do never cut the inner corner of a lash, cut the outer corner. And for application, if you're going to use tweezers, be very, very careful with your eye. If you're going to use your hand, just be as precise as you can. And honestly, it's all just practice, practice, practice. You guys are going to see me use a tool to mash my lashes with the fake lashes, and that's actually a lash application tool that I can't use. For some reason I have to use tweezers. I'm just so used to it. But what I do like using it for is to get right up in there and connect my lashes with the fake lashes, and I've been loving that tool for that, at least, because I can't use it to apply. But if you're a beginner, try using it because it is safer for your eyes. Next, I'm going to go in with the Maybelline, the Colossal Volume Express Mascara to help blend in my real lashes with the fake lashes even further. And as a tip, concentrate the mascara on your real lash and not so much on the fake lash, because if you get mascara on the fake lash, they can get ruined. and you want to get as many uses out of a lash as you can. I'm also going to apply mascara to my lower lashes. And another thing that I did that I thought I had recorded, but I guess I didn't, was I applied a nude pencil to my lower waterline. And what that does is it helps open your eyes up. You know, a lot of people like to do black eyeliner, but if you use a nude or a white pencil, it's just going to open your eyes so much more, whereas black closes your eyes and makes them smaller. So for highlighter, I used to own the Ofra Rodeo Drive highlighter, but I hit pan on that, and then I went to repurchase it, and I found this palette right here, Ofra Feeling Myself highlight palette, that comes with 3 different shades. It comes with Blissful, Pillow Talk, and Rodeo Drive, which I already knew I loved. And I love Ofra highlighters. Their formula is just so amazing, and I'm like, great, I get 3 highlighters in one. I get to try different colors. I was super excited. So for this video, you guys are gonna see I'm actually gonna use Blissful and Pillow Talk because I wanted to use, you know, the 2 new shades. But I actually lately I've been just using all 3 together, and you're gonna see my face. I'm just in awe of how beautiful Ofra highlighters is. Because this is a do your look, I applied it to my cheekbones, I highlighted my brow bone, bridge of my nose, cupid's bow, some areas of my temple, and it's just beautiful. I mean, come on, how can you go wrong with highlighter? You really can't. Next, to set our makeup in place, melt all those products together and to help your makeup last all day long, I'm using the MAC Fix Plus and the Milani Make It Dewy Setting Sprays. Alright guys, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you learned something today. Please share, like, comment, and of course subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. I'd love to have you here. Also, come follow me on all my social media. I am mostly on Instagram, but I also have Facebook, Snapchat, and Twitter. All of my handles will be at the end of this video and down below in the description box. Thank you again for 100 subs. Peace and love, guys.